Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Ask Rebecca radio show. Thank you for joining me. Tonight is episode 2 in April's series on pursuing your dreams. And because I want to help you make your dreams a reality, the Logo Gnome will be offering a 20% discount on all design services. All you have to do is mention Ask Rebecca. Design services include logos, business cards, flyers, brochures, websites, apps, hosting, videos, and printing. You can check out their website at thelogognome.com. That's LOGONOM.com, or you can email connect@thelogognome.com as well. Tonight we'll also be giving away one free business card design valued at $100. I'll select a random winner from the Facebook comments section on the live streaming video of the show, which you can watch from my Facebook page or A1R's Facebook page. Last week, I talked about why more people aren't pursuing their dreams and how the biggest obstacle in attaining your dreams is you. So many of us believe we are talentless, we have no passions, or we couldn't possibly own our own businesses or work for ourselves. We just seem stuck, or maybe we think we're not smart enough, not wise enough. Whatever it is that we tell ourselves, we're typically our biggest obstacle. With that theme in mind, I wanted to introduce you to Jessie Raditz, who turned her passion into a successful business. And I wanted to give you some inspiration, and what better way than to meet somebody from firsthand experience. Hi, Jessie. Thank you so much for coming onto the show to share your story.
Hi, Rebecca. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. I just love your story, and I really feel people will be able to relate to your situation. You can be such an inspiration to help them take a leap of faith to pursue their passions, just the way that you did. And I know you're like quite the entrepreneur. You have a main business and a few side hustles. So let's start with how you ended up creating Happy Dog Pet Services. What is Happy Dog Pet Services, and what was the catalyst to the creation of Happy Dog?
Happy Dog Pet Services is a comprehensive dog walking and pet sitting business. I specialize in geriatric and special needs cats and dogs, but I have clients of all health, of all ages, not just the older ones or the ones that have special needs. And everything I do is in a client's home, which is really a more safer situation for their pets. In general, a lot of dogs and cats get very nervous and don't really do well in boarding situations. That's not to say that boarding is a terrible thing. There are a lot of facilities that offer great activities for their boarded pets, but not every boarding situation is like that. And so this is a way that the clients basically getting 2 services for the price of 1. They have somebody who's coming in and taking care of their fur babies, and somebody who's also there to make sure that the house is secure, that the mail is brought in, that their garbage cans are brought up, or anything else that needs to be done around the house.
Yeah, I think that's an awesome idea. I mean, it does I'm a pet owner and I have a fur baby. And luckily, he's got grandparents, so I'm lucky in that regard. But if I didn't have that situation, which has happened in the past, then I would have to board him. And I always feel bad because even though the place I would board him was phenomenal, but still they're in like a crate type situation. They don't have their bed and all of that. So I just think it's an innovative idea of how you ended up even starting the business. So, again, because the theme is most people have some anxieties or think that they don't have any passions. And in my own experience, it always takes some sort of catalyst that ends up motivating us to push ourselves and pursue our goals and our dreams. Do you mind sharing what that was for you? What led you to doing Happy Dog?
Well, I'm a single mom. And throughout most of my son's life, I've worked multiple jobs. I was very blessed to meet a wonderful man. We exchanged vows, and he passed away 8 years ago.
I'm so sorry.
But I still had to work. I still had bills to pay. And my situation was I simply couldn't deal with people. I happened to come across an ad online for a dog walker needed with a local company. I live in St. Cloud, Florida. And this gentleman who owns this company hired me without me being able to prove anything that I said I could do, just on the faith that I showed up and I answered his questions and I looked like a nice lady. And it went from there. And I worked for him for 4 years. I learned a lot from him. And I always thought that when it came to doing what you do, you should always put all of yourself into it. I was raised that you have, when you work, with a really strong work ethic. And after about 4 years, things weren't super great anymore with the company. And I was presented with an excellent opportunity to walk dogs for 4 different families in a neighborhood where I would literally be picking up dog after dog after dog and be making more money in the afternoon than I did all day.
Wow.
And I couldn't pass that opportunity up. So I left that company and I walked for about a year on my own, under my own name, trying to figure out what I really wanted to do. Did I want to work for another company? I'd always thought about starting my own company, but it always seemed like, what was I going to do? You know?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, we aren't just one interest people. We have multiple interests. And I am definitely one of those people that multitasks all the time and has several different projects going on. And it just sort of fell into place. Dog walking and pet sitting it sort of saved me. It healed me as much as you can heal from losing a loved one. And I just built it from there. And a year later, I started Happy Dog.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's always the process. We're always healing ourselves on some level. And what better way than with fur babies, unconditional lovers of all. Like, I mean, I would love doing that myself. I think it would be so much fun. So, you know, obviously, when you're going through the process, like what were some of the challenges and fears that you had to work through within yourself to actually put yourself out there? I mean, I know for me, it's challenging. It's, you know, it's difficult. There's insecurities that come up, but, so, you know, what were some of the things that you struggled with that anybody would struggle with, but you overcame?
Well, I always thought that when you owned a business or you ran a business, you always had to have some sort of educational background in business. You took some sort of business classes in college, or you worked your way up and ran major departments in big companies for years, and you sort of had that background. I had always been that person that when I worked thought I could do this better. If it were mine, I would do this differently.
Right.
And it never occurred to me early on. I mean, it was always kind of I would love to work for myself and stop working for other people, but it never occurred to me that it would ever be something that I could ever bring to fruition. And it was during that year that I walked under my own name, that I saw an advertisement in our local paper for the National Entrepreneur Center. And in Central Florida, we are very blessed to have a National Entrepreneur Center. It is a joint project from Walt Disney World, Orange County government, and UCF that is resources put together for entrepreneurs, and not just small business owners like myself that have an original idea, but also people who do independent consulting or even franchise owners. It's a place to go to learn, to network, to get coaching, to get a mentor, and to kind of get your plan together, as well as starting, but how you're going to exit that business, because a lot of people don't think about that either.
True.
And most of the services they offer are free. If they're not free, they're extremely low cost. And I run into people all the time who say that they find out I'm a business owner, and they say, well, I would love to do that, or I have an idea, but I don't know where to start. And I always say, have you been to the National Entrepreneur Center? They have no idea we have one.
I had no idea we had one until you told me.
And it's in Fashion Square Mall in Orlando, and which is centrally located for everybody in Central Florida. And the first class I took was literally called "So You Want to Start a Business," and it was free. It was 2 hours out of my evening, and I went and I sat and froze my butt off because it's extremely cold. If you guys take a class at the National Entrepreneur Center, bring a jacket. But it gave me all the basic things that I needed to start, to push me to the point, well, I could totally do this. I could be a business owner. I could take my ideas of how I wanted to run a dog walking and a pet sitting business and market them to a unique clientele and make a living.
Yeah, and you totally did that, because one of the things that I love about Happy Dog Pet Services is the fact that you literally do no marketing, no advertising. I mean, you have no social media presence whatsoever. It's strict. You don't even have a website. Like, it is strictly
there's not a
word
Facebook
of mouth.
page,
And
there is not a Twitter account. There is not a YouTube channel. There's no Instagram. None of it.
Right. And what amazes me about it is, like, your business is thriving. Like, you're successful just from the word of mouth. So I'm curious, why don't you advertise? Because I know that's a lot of times a sticking point for people as well is, okay, well, I'm going to have to invest all this money into my business. I'm going to have to market. I'm going to have to advertise. All these things cost money. But you found a really, really awesome way to be successful without it all. So if you wouldn't mind sharing.
When I started, like everybody, I was thinking about advertising as well, and it's expensive.
It is.
So I really thought outside of the box on ways of getting my name out there. I canvassed neighborhoods when they would have their community garage sales with like $50 cash in my pocket, and I'd buy a little tchotchke and I'd hand them a bag with a dog treat and my card in it and chat them up. Do you have a dog? Do you know somebody who has a dog? Do you know somebody who knows somebody who has a dog? Well, here's a treat and my card. And that was how I started. And it got to a point where I was getting a lot of phone calls, but the people who were responding to my cards were really not the clients I wanted. And this may sound terrible, and if there are anybody out there who's actually gone to school for business, they're probably going to shake their head. I don't take every person that calls my number, even if it's a word of mouth from a really good client I already have. That's not necessarily an in with me. I have to come and meet you. I have to feel you out. I have to see how you interact with your dogs, your cats. I got to see how we interact, because I'm always going to fall in love with the cats and the dogs. That's
right. Yeah.
It's the people that are the problem.
So,
as terrible as that sounds. And to be honest, I didn't start my own business to work with jerks. If I wanted to work with jerks, I'd still be working for someone else. This is my business, and I make my money on my terms. And if that means I have to pick up a side hustle here and there to make ends meet because I don't have any clients that are booking right now, I don't have a problem with that. Because in the long run, when I look back over the life of Happy Dog, it will have been on my terms. And It would have been me loving every single second of it. I should never go to work dreading the job. I work with dogs. I play with dogs all day. I should never be like, oh, how many more visits are on this job?
Right.
And so that's why I don't advertise. I'm very picky about my clients, and it has nothing to do with religion or sexual preference or politics or color of skin or what your house looks like or how much money you have in your bank. It has to do with how well we click and how I see you interact with your animals. That's really
well, I mean, that's the beauty of owning your own business. You get to get with the clientele that, works for you. And again, that being your own business owner, that's a perk in my book. I love knowing that Happy Dog is a grassroots startup, and it has grown for you to the point where now you actually have to hire an employee. So that's super exciting, but I'm sure that's also causing some anxiety and some challenges. So, what challenges are you facing right now, having to juggle that really quickly?
Like I said, I've worked multiple jobs throughout my life. A lot of 2 and 3 jobs at the same time. I've been that person that was last hired, first fired. And I really don't want to be that sort of boss. So I invest money back into my company for what I make. That money will now go towards the wages of an employee. So for me, that means I pick up a side hustle until I pick up more clients to balance the books better.
Right.
I totally don't mind doing. Because for what I do, the face has to be constantly the same that our clients are seeing. It can't be me this week and then Judy next week and then, Michelle the week after that. It always has to be the same face that our clients are seeing. So if that means I'm funneling all of our work to an employee and I pick up a side job till we pick up more clients, so be it. But I need to put myself in that position to where I can accept more clients and I can open up more areas. For me, and I haven't had to work a side job in a long, long time, not since I actually started Happy Dog. So Happy Dog will be 4 years old this July. So I started selling Pink Zebra products as an independent consultant. And so that will be my money to supplement what I'm putting towards an employee.
So why don't you tell everybody what Pink Zebra is? Because I think it's super cool, and I know I'm going to be buying some stuff from you. I think it's fantastic. It's not anything that I've seen. So if you want to share with the listeners what type of products they are and how they can check out your website, because you do have a website for that.
I do have a website for that. Pink Zebra is a non-toxic, pet-safe home fragrance. Very similar to the plugins you buy in the grocery store or the candles that you buy in the big box stores. The difference is that these are soy-based natural candles that are made in little round sprinkles that you can totally use. And you can totally use it with any sort of accessories or I want to say paraphernalia, but that sounds wrong. But yeah, you already have invested in with any other sort of scent you can use. If you have a wax warmer that you picked up at Walmart that you love, the Pink Zebra sprinkles will totally melt in that. If you have candle jars from a big box store that you like, all you need is a wick and you just pour them in. And I supply the wicks for my clients that use the candle jars. I just go out and buy wicks and give them the wicks. But it's nice because you never want somebody to come at you and say, I have this product that is just like what you're using and it's totally safe. And they've sold you on that. Now they come back at you and say, now you have to buy a couple $100 worth of stuff in order to use it.
Right.
I love that you don't have to necessarily buy anything to use this. If you've already made that investment, you can totally use that stuff. You're just adding the sprinkles instead of what you've been using to burn in these in the wax warmer or in the candle jars. And know that it's 100% safe. That anything that comes out of the candle is not going to poison your animals. It's not going to poison your kids. It's not going to poison your parents. It's not going to poison you or your husband. And they're really good, strong smells. It's not, people tend to think natural smell and they tend to think, health food store. No, these are great, strong smelling fragrances that are very contemporary and that you would find in a big box, store.
Right. Yeah.
And another thing I love about Pink Zebra is They do give back. They have a charitable organization where if you do a home party and you get to $500, a single mom gets a free day of daycare.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
And they also have scholarship programs available for single mothers to go back to school. So I love that. Being a single mom myself, I love that.
I love that. That's awesome. So how can listeners check out your site? What is the site address?
It's going to be pinkzebrahome.com/Jessie Raditz. And you guys have the Pink Zebra logo, I believe, on your partner site?
Yep, it's on my website, and I will, you can go to the partners page and click the link, and it'll take you right there. So I hope everybody will check it out and purchase something from you. I only have 2 minutes left, and I have to give away this free, oh my God, brain freeze. Sorry, I have to give away this free business card design. So we have to wrap it up, but go to my website, click on the partners page for the Pink Zebra, and it'll take you right to Jessie's page, and you can order whatever sprinkles, sparkles. They're really super cool. I think they're awesome. Check them out. And thank you again, Jessie, for joining me on the show. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
I hope we were able to inspire some listeners. And so before we go, really quickly, whoever wants to win the free business card design, if you type in the comments section of the Facebook page or the live comments, type the word me. And if I get cut off, just email me at AskRebeccaToday@gmail.com, and I'll pick a winner that way. I apologize for running over. So I hope to get somebody out there a winner. If not, we'll give it away next week on the other show with the free logo design. I'll just pick 2 separate winners then. I hope everybody has a great week, and I look forward to connecting with all of you next week. And Jessie, thank you again, and I'll be seeing you soon, I'm sure.
I believe we're seeing each other Saturday.
Yes, possibly.